The Raze Empire is still at work repairing Remagen Bridge to finish their war against Varia, with imminent victory closer to them day by day. While Lord Vermilion is keeping a steady vigil on Imperial movements, scouts have come in with a very delayed report. Through the treacherous valleys of the Burdan Ravine, the Empire has sent a sneak attack of 1,000 elite troops to flank Vermilion's position from the rear. The Empire's bold plan to march through an inhospitable valley wasn't even thought to be feasible, and our late discovery of their movements means time is of the essence. The Sinnoh Knights ride out to the Burdan Ravine, determined to hold off the enemies to buy Vermilion some time to organize a counterplan to the flank. So begins Chapter 11 Main, Bloodstained Valley. Objective: defend for 20 turns, then escape by turn 24. As of this point, we have formally entered the endgame of Berwick Saga, with only a handful of maps left to play. The number of civilian requests and bonus objectives start to taper down dramatically from here, as each map instead focuses on ramping up the difficulty in progressively larger steps. That being said, this is one of the easiest maps in the game, but don't rest on your laurels, it will get brutal from here on very quickly. Your army and your playstyles will soon be put to test in numerous ways, and it's time to face the music. We start on the right side of the ravine right next to the defend point. Enemies will continue to pour in from the left side of the map, with reinforcements coming every turn from turns 2 all the way to 19. With 2 exceptions due to a side quest, we cannot let any of the enemies get past us. While it seems like you can just turtle, we must play aggressively early on before the pressure ramps up to complete some additional objectives. The tactics ranking for this map may seem somewhat strange, but will make sense eventually. We're rewarded for holding out as long as possible. We get the standard 1 point for clearing the map, a second point for escaping on turn 23, and the final point for waiting until the very last turn of 24 before escaping. The starting few enemies on turn 1 are barely any threat. The vanguard of the Empire's elites are surprisingly some low-grade cannon fodder. At this stage in the game, these soldiers' pitiful stats and equipment means they can barely land a hit on us. Take this time to start pushing west. There is a soul searchable spot on the tall plateau immediately next to us, and it can be searched for a meteoric iron. On turn 2, the enemy reinforcements will start. The standard waves pushing right, along with Zephyrus and Arcturus, bringing along a large number of wyverns. These 2 characters have already been introduced to us in the story so far, and they're not necessarily hostile to us. The wyverns will sit on the western end of the map and observe until turn 20. But their AIs can and will activate if one of our units wander too close. Both Zephyrus and Arcturus have a hidden trigger in place that will prevent them from dying, literally. Even 100% accurate moves will miss against them if the hit would have otherwise killed them. Due to this and the deadly weapons held by the other members of the Wyvern squad, aggroing them is a definite death sentence for this map. They will chase you and hunt you down with brutal efficiency, and you cannot kill the 2 leaders of the squad in return. Their existence on the map, in a gameplay sense, is meant to prevent you from pushing too far west to a point where you are spawn camping the enemies. Do not provoke them under any circumstance. It will not end well. The map can easily be completed without going near them. On the other hand, the group of infantry joining the wyverns on turn 2 will advance. They are a part of the enemies trying to cross the ravine. This group contains a race priest that drops the crafting material platinum on death. He's not that strong and is very easy to take down, but make sure to let him advance a bit first, so you can get in range of him without provoking Zephyrus. Pushing west gives us the chance to complete the first side quest. The hunter Roden is back at his usual shenanigans. If you remember this guy from chapter 3, he's doing the same thing here, moving from tree to tree in stealth in the bottom left corner of the map. It's the exact same thing this time. Find him in the forests and have Ward talk to him to get him out. Easy peasy. The next major item to look out for comes in on turn 10. The map boss, Anderson, appears carrying a droppable ruby. Just like with the previous race priest, you want to let him walk out of the wyvern's range before going for the kill. Anderson will march up to about the halfway point of the map and stop moving, so make sure to intercept and kill him early. Enemy reinforcements steadily rise in quality as the turns go on, and eventually the pressure may be too much for you to extend to the halfway point to take him down if you wait too long. After Anderson falls and you found Roden, it may be time to consider running back to where you started. Remember that the map goes from defend to escape after turn 20, and the escape point is the exact same place as our defend point. With every objective in the left side of the map completed, there's no further incentive for us to stay so far away from safety. On your way back, watch for the second side quest, ensuring that Morton and Alec flee the map. Morton arrives as an enemy reinforcement on turn 11, and Alec appears on turn 17. The tricky part of it, however, is that Morton and Alec do not appear on the map as named enemies. They appear with generic enemy names and blend in with the rest of the army that we're killing. The only hint you get of their identity is that unlike every other enemy, they will not attack us, and are only preoccupied with running towards the map exit. In the chaos of the map though, you may not be able to distinguish them. If they die, they will say a line of dialogue, posthumously informing you of your blunder. Morton arrives as an armored infantry and is the very bottom unit in the column on turn 11, and Alec arrives as the topmost cavalry unit on turn 17. Both of them are the only ones equipping long spears in their respective waves on that turn. You can track them by planting flag markers on their tiles with the start button on your controller, and make sure to continue replacing the flag marker as they move to make sure you don't lose them. Allow both of them to leave the map via the right side exit. You will not fail the map if it's them getting through. On turn 19, the final wave of reinforcements appear. A Wormwood Race Priest and some extremely scary Lance Cavalry and Bow Knights appear. These units are intended to be a kill squad to hunt you down. This is where the difficulty of the tactics ranks come in. While the map can be done as simply as just taking a few steps to our right and leaving as soon as turn 20 happens, maximum tactics demand us stay on the map for as long as possible, which means finding ways to survive this brutal kill team as they push in. While you can fight them, and it is possible to defeat them, it's not recommended since this can massively delay your escape, making it impossible to get out. To get through this problem, the map's ending can be cheesed. On turn 20, Zephyrus' squad will leave and the defend point changes to the escape point, which means that the enemy AI behavior also changes. They will no longer go after a defend point that no longer exists, but will instead shift their attention to attacking us as we escape. This is an exploitable behavior, since not a single enemy on this map has the Watchful ability. If all your units escape the map except one unit that can also hide in the forest, that unit can simply sit in the forest near the escape and become stealthed. The enemies will see no target on the map, and all of them, including the kill team, will stand still doing nothing. You can then simply spam end turn until turn 24 arrives and briskly leave the map with your last unit, gaining maximum tactics and without needing to bother dealing with the final squad, clearing the map very easily and perhaps not what Saga intended you to do. No rest for the weary though. As soon as we clear the map, we're immediately given our next mission as the sole side map for this chapter. Chapters 11 and 12 only have one side map each, and these are the two final side maps in the game. Given the nature of our upcoming mission, Reese and Ward are now also allowed to participate in these two final side maps. Clean up your inventory, organize your forces, and get ready to move out. See you soon.